What is the difference between the new Callaway ELYTE 3-wood and the Callaway ELYTE X 3-wood? So first things first, the Callaway ELYTE 3-wood is 15 degrees and basically what you normally see in a 3-wood. The Callaway ELYTE X is here in a 3HL, so it's 16.5 degrees in the one that has turned up into the shop. Sometimes with like the Ping SFT, for example, they're 16 degrees instead of 14.5. So normally that sort of slightly more helpful club is just a little bit more lofted, just to help the ball get in the air more. First looks at the X against the ELYTE. The X has a bigger footprint. It takes up more space. From the top as well at address, you've just got a bit more surface area here to look at, which might be a bit more inviting for some golfers. The standard shafts in these ELYTE 3-woods is the Project X Denali. I'm going to hit both of these on the same shaft, so I'm only changing the head on its own. I've got a 6.0 stiff 60 grams, 6.0, and this is like a grey version of the shaft, which I think is a bit softer than the black version that you saw in the Triple Diamond AI Smoke from last year. So I have already hit a few of the standard Callaway ELYTE 3-woods, so I'll keep that data on there because I did it like 5 minutes ago. So I found that this club had a nice easy draw. Comes off the face really clean, really sweet, nice and shallow, so there's not too much depth here. We've got a fairly shallow profile there along there, which means that they can then get more distance back here. The further away you get the weight from the face, the more forgiving a golf club is across the board. Now that is doing the same thing for me repeatedly, so let's have a go with the other head. Now the other head is bigger. I believe it toes in a bit more, so it sits a little bit more shut. In terms of face depth, we look fairly similar, maybe slightly shallower in the X. Now, one thing to consider here is this is a more lofted club, normally aimed at being more forgiving, more helpful, easier to get in the air. Lots of people struggle with a 3-wood to get it airborne, and that's where the X comes in. Or in the past, I've done a lot of fittings where a 3-wood doesn't work for someone, but a 5-wood goes slightly shorter than the best shot in a 3-wood, but more consistently does it. So I have had a few golfers in fittings where we've just gone with a 5-wood because it's more reliable. This could bridge that gap and give us a little bit more distance than a 5-wood and maintain a lot of ease. So we've got ELYTE X on there. Let's have 3 balls with this. Same shaft, different head. Definitely sits a little bit more shut, and I think the X is a little bit more upright. So in terms of direction, when a club's flatter, it'll go further to the right. When it's more upright, it'll go more to the left. So with this being preset as upright, it could mean that it leans to the left a little bit easier, and then the extra loft just makes it a little bit easier to get it higher and lefter. If you miss low and right, that's a very good thing. But same shaft, let's see what we get. That was slightly thin, so it will spin a bit more. Lots of upward movement. Again, for me, it's probably not going to go as far because that height isn't what I need. But someone who hits the ball a bit lower is really going to enjoy that element compared to the normal ELYTE. Yeah, spin spiked up a bit more there. Ball speed's about the same. That was more out the screws. And we have a nice big high draw, soaring in the air. Slightly shyer on carry for me, and that's okay. Oh, so easy to hit that shape. If you slice the ball, these things definitely help. And 1 for luck. Now the technology in the faces on the AI Smoke range last year, yeah, nice all day long. Technology in the faces on last year's AI Smoke varied from the draw to the max to the Triple Diamond because they looked at how many people, where people struck the ball in a lot of fittings, a lot of ball impact data, and they made the AI face suit where that golfer that's buying that club generally strikes the ball. So I'd imagine we've gone for a similar trend here where this might not necessarily suit the strike that I get, so I would get more out of the toe of the Triple Diamond last year, for example, and I don't hit it out the heel as much, so I kind of hit the Triple Diamond pretty well. But let's have a look at what the differences are on here. Let's have a look at these shots. Okay, so we've got the ELYTE 3-wood. One of them has come up as the ZXi 3-wood for some reason, but that is the first shot that I hit. Cool. Big difference here because I'm not striking the ELYTE X in the place on the face that it is designed for. I've got a big drop in carry there and a massive spike in spin. This thing is designed to launch Well, it doesn't launch much higher, maybe a thin strike in there. Yeah, no, it's launching lower. Ball speed, not much slower, but definitely for me, I get more out of the Callaway ELYTE, and I lose a lot from the Callaway ELYTE X. That won't be the case for some golfers. Like I say, some golfers that struggle to get the 3-wood airborne would benefit from the X quite a lot, so I would really advise you going to have a hit with one yourself to see what it does for you. Most fitting centers should have one of each. Give both of them a whack and see what you get. So the draw spin that I generated was on average less with the X. Actually, I would expect that to draw more. However, that 232, let's delete that one out. That's not fair. I struck it badly. Angle of descent, 43.6, which is much steeper than the 39.2. So this X is going to land and stop more. This Callaway ELYTE is going to land and run more. Peak height, we're looking at 99 feet on the Callaway ELYTE, and then the X is 112. So we definitely get more height. Each one of these is all over 100 foot. We've only got 2 of them sneaking over, 2 of them sneaking under. So this does hold a higher average through the air. Again, that's good for the golfers that hit the ball too low anyway. Go and get fitted if you don't know what too low is, and you'll see which one does this for you. You'll probably find that one is much worse. Ball speed, just slower on the X. Way more spin on the X. Less distance for me because of the efficiency of the flight, and then more distance out of the Callaway ELYTE 3-wood between the two. But the Callaway ELYTE X 3-wood is definitely a much more forgiving head for the off-center hits. It's designed to be hit on the face by someone that's not me. And then the Callaway ELYTE 3-wood is a bit more normalized. It's a bit more neutral, it's a bit more central, and it might suit a bigger range of golfers, but there'll be a select few that want to jump in the X to get more out of it. By all means, give them a go, jump in the comments if you've had a go or you're looking at buying them, and I'll see you on the next video.